Good evening, everybody. We'll go ahead and call this meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order. This is a regular meeting, 6:31 p.m. in Borough Assembly Chambers on Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Can everybody please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Frazier,
Here.
Mr. Neff, Mr. Dagan,
Present.
Ms. Craig,
Here.
Ms. Williamson, Mr. Cleary,
Present.
Mr. Mangini.
Here.
You have a quorum. Sorry.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion for approval, please?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, approved and seconded. Any discussion on the agenda as presented? No discussion. All right. All in favor of approval of the agenda, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we have an agenda. Let's move on to approval of minutes. If I can get it together here. All right, can I get a motion for the approval of our November 19th meeting minutes?
I'll move to approve November 19th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of approval of the minutes as presented, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, minutes approved. That gets us to citizens' comments. Citizens' comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. If you're listening over the radio or live stream and you'd like to comment, please call our local number 907-486-3231 or our toll-free number at 855-492-9202. Citizens' comments is for general topics only, so if you would like to comment on either of the public hearings for the evening, we ask that you wait until we open those to speak specifically to those agenda items.
You are now answering a call from the queue.
Good evening. Thank you for calling the Planning and Zoning Commission. Please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Is the phone call still active and we just can't hear anything?
It doesn't sound like it's active.
Is there anybody on the phone right now?
Okay, we do have an option for folks to call in at the end of the meeting too with another round of citizens' comments. So if you are listening and you're having trouble connecting, please give us a call back when we get to that second round. Okay, since we don't have anybody else on the phone, right? Okay. Hearing and seeing no more citizens' comments, we'll go ahead and move to public hearing. Our first public hearing tonight is for case number 26-007, Blotcha variance, a variance to allow encroachment of existing structure into various yard requirements of the R3 district to Lot 11, Natalia subdivision, Plat 2008-5, located at 101 Natalia Way. Chris, can we get a staff report, please?
Can we get a motion first, please?
No, I'm just kidding. All right, requesting a motion. I'd prefer not to make it since I'm the chair. Anybody else want to?
I
Make the
understand,
motion.
and I will certainly do that, but I'm going to butcher it probably. I make a motion to accept the case,
To approve.
to approve case number 26-007, Blanca variance, a variance to allow encroachment of existing.
Commissioner Dagan,
Yes.
so your motion would be to approve the resolution that's attached to that?
And that's why I thank you for your patience and tolerance. I make a motion to approve the motion.
Go for it.
Yeah, Nick, go ahead. Yeah.
I would move to approve resolution FY 26-13.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second now. Can we get a staff report, please, Chris? Thanks. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that.
Chris French, Community Development. The request, again, is a variance to encroach into, and I'll read through this, but this is basically for an existing structure to encroach into several side and side yard requirements / front yard requirement. The variance is to encroach into the required 5-foot side yard setback on the west side, a distance of 4.8 feet at the northwest corner of the structure and extending to the southwest corner of the structure, inclusive of an Arctic entry which extends to within 5.9 feet at the southwest corner and is 2.4 feet at its closest point as depicted on the accompanying as-built survey that's attached to your agenda item. An encroachment into the 5-foot required east side yard beginning 2.4 feet from the northeast corner of the structure and extending to 6.5 feet at the southeast corner of the structure. Also an encroachment at the 25-foot front yard setback adjacent to Natalia Way, with the closest distance to the front line being 9.7 feet from the southwest corner of the structure as depicted on accompanying as-built survey. And so the applicant requests the variance. It's primarily to allow the existing structure to encroach into side setbacks. Some question about front yard, street side yard setback here for the one, just because of how the right-of-way shifts. Staff erred on the side of conservatism here in order to pick the front yard, since that's the largest one. But you could make a case that this is a side yard on a corner lot by the shape of it. And so it could be either one of those. However, we're basically saying that it's a encroachment into the front yard just to be safe. And then also, staff has reviewed this. Staff has not received any comments against the variance request, and staff has provided their findings or proposed findings for the consideration of the commission. Starting on page 4 of 8, you'll see the staff's analysis, and then within your resolution, FY 2026-13, the findings are listed in there as well. Staff does recommend approval of the variance case, primarily because of the context of the situation here, the shape of the lot, the size of the lot, the development around it, which includes 2 large retaining walls that impact where development can be on the property. All these things into consideration, staff does recommend approval of the variance to allow the existing structure to encroach into these setback requirements. One thing I will say about that is a little bit difficult. This structure probably has a lot of nonconformance involved in it already. However, there has been some small additions to the structure that further encroached into setbacks. And so that's one of the reasons for the request here today before you, is to just kind of get a clean slate on the structure and have it be approved in its existing configuration. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Do you have approximate dates for when the additional encroachments were constructed?
I do not, but I believe the applicant is here, so they may be able to shed some light on that. But I don't have, that's why I said we went by the existing structure. It's hard for us to tell, based on what information that we had on this property, when an addition may have taken place, but the applicant may have more information on that.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was prior to 1980.
It's not prior to 1980, I
Okay.
don't believe, no.
Okay, thank you. Other commissioner comments? Sean, did you have anything to add?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Then let's go ahead and close the regular meeting and open the public hearing. Sorry, I'm having some iPad issues tonight. Similar to citizens' comments, public hearing comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. If you're listening on the phone, you can call in at our local number 907-486-3231 or our toll-free number at 855-492-9202. We do ask that you address the commission as a whole. Also, that you state your name very clearly for the record. If you're in the audience and coming up to participate, please make sure to also write your name on the clipboard and make sure that your mic is on before you speak. Do we have nobody on the phone? Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. Hearing nobody for a public hearing, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting for additional discussion by the commission.
I just got a question for staff. Do any of these improvements encroach on the area where the dumpsters are located? I know there's a bunch of dumpsters there right now too, so,
It doesn't encroach into where the dumpsters are located, no.
okay.
Okay, no additional comments. I guess, Haley, will you go ahead and do a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Dagan,
No.
Ms. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Cleary,
Yes.
Mr. Mangini.
Yes.
Before I say if this passes or not, does Sean, he's included in the quorum for this vote? Okay. Motion passes 4-1.
Okay, thank you, Haley. That brings us to our second public hearing item for the evening. It is case number 26-009, requesting a similar use determination to compare church use to cultural center use in Title 17 zoning code. Can I get a motion, please?
I move to approve Resolution FY 2026-12.
Have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Staff report, please, Chris.
Yes, thank you. So the applicant has requested to use the similar use determination section of the code to ask the commission to consider that a cultural center be considered similar to a church use. I think primarily in our staff's review of this application, we looked at the nature of the structure itself and the idea of assembly type uses. Our code is limited, at least in the zoning section of the code, is limited to the types of uses that are listed there. That could be assembly. You know, church is the primary one that's in there, even though in our parking regulations, we actually do have church and assembly type uses listed specifically in it. It's not that way, unfortunately, in the zoning code section. So that's why the applicant has requested this, because when you look at the configuration of the structure, it's really a 2,400 square foot assembly area in this 3,600 square foot building. And they're proposing that would be similar to a church use in terms of how it's configured. They also stated that this is not going to be it's going to be a non-commercial use, so similar to a church in that regard, and that a lot of the cultural uses that are in there would be similar in terms of the nature to church types activities and things like that. And I don't have a whole lot more information to give you on that, but we do hopefully have someone from the applicant here from Lesnoy to speak to this case and can answer more questions. Staff did believe, from the standpoint of looking at it from a land use standpoint, that it would be similar in terms of the way the code calls it, character and intensity or impact, similar to what a church would have, and so that's why staff had, recommended approval to the commission. You do have at least one public comment that was shared by email to me today that I forwarded on and printed here for the commission to consider. The only thing I would state in terms of reading the comment, I would point out that the December 10th meeting was the work session that was canceled due to a lack of quorum. There's a discussion in here about a December 9th and 11th meeting. That is not a meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. That was a meeting regarding the comprehensive plan that was done on December 9th and 11th, so it has nothing to do with this case or the Planning and Zoning Commission review of anything. So I would just point out that's not something that's covered as a Planning Commission meeting. And also, I will say, we did advertise those meetings in the newspaper in many different ways, social media, et cetera. So if you have any comments, I'll be happy to try to answer those.
Thanks, Chris. Any clarifying questions of Chris about his staff report before we move to the public hearing? Nope, hearing and seeing none. Let's go ahead and close the regular meeting and open the public hearing. Similarly with the last case, comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. If you would like to make comments over the phone, you can call our local number at 907-486-3231 or toll free at 855-492-9202. We ask that you address the commission as a whole, and that if you're here in the room, you sign your name in and turn on your mic before speaking.
Do you want to do call first?
Sure.
Never mind. They are not
Then
there.
no. Yeah, anybody that's here for this Lesnoy-related case, please feel free to come and make public comment at this time.
Yeah, you can go to the podium. And then you just push the button on the microphone to turn it on.
Good evening. I'm Todd Heiner. I have 3 parcels out in Middle Bay, and I just heard of this. Well, I got this in the mail. I had to go over to see my parents in Hawaii. My mom's not doing too good, but anyway, came in Monday, tried to get some paperwork on it, but nobody was available to give me the paperwork because they were all off, and so I finally got it today. I'm concerned about this out in Middle Bay. I don't see it, but it looks to me like it's over 1,000 acres, this red. Now, I don't know if they're proposing it just at the site where they're putting in the cultural center. I'm okay with that, I guess. I think if it's pertaining to the thousands of acres that encompass all of us out in Middle Bay, I think this could really change the dynamics of it all. We've all played by the sea conservation rules for 30 years out there, and for them to get a variance of this, which also says that they could put up cabins too, to me it's like they're comparing themselves to like a lodge out there where they could have multiple outbuildings and stuff. We can't do that here. And so what I propose is that I would like to see them zone a certain area for it and try it out and see how it all works out rather than encompassing all of Middle Bay, part of Cowson Bay. There's a lot of people, ATVs and guides that go through there and stuff, and this is all encompassing that area. I don't know what's going to happen to all them, but I know they weren't notified. And so I've talked to a few people out there and about, and everybody's a little bit leery about just giving Lesnoy a blanket thing that they can do this stuff on this huge amount of area. My recommendation to you guys would be that they come back to you with a plan and a site, and I think it's more of a commercial use than a church myself, personally. I see the building and stuff. I've read through this stuff, and I understand their intent and stuff, but to me, to blanket a whole area that just encompasses all of Middle Bay is just not the way to start something like this. So I was going to read off my notes and I didn't do that. Could you tell me, I guess I got a few more seconds here, is it that whole red area that they're trying to encompass on this cultural center? the whole area there. It's like over 1,000 acres.
So they're not changing the zoning, they're asking that for this particular building where they're proposing to place it, that it would be allowed that use would be allowed for that
In
site.
this site.
In that conservation zone. But they're
But
not
that
asking,
doesn't
they're not
blanket-
asking for everything to be zoned commercial or
That
something
doesn't
like that.
blanket all the rest of the red that they can put out cabins and stuff and different,
I mean, they can only do what the zone allows. They're only asking that through the similar use determination, that the cultural center structure be allowed, stating that it's similar to what a church would be in terms of
Okay.
intensity and character. It doesn't change the zoning, what they're proposing doesn't change the zoning of the greater parcel. That's
okay,
still
I didn't really
conservation.
get this when I read that in here, though, that it's just in one area, and it doesn't specifically show you the area either, like if I went in there to rezone an area or something, you know, you'd have longitude, latitude, and tell us where, but I've talked to the Dormans, and they think it's right in their backyard, so I don't know if that's correct.
So in terms of this review is not about placement of a structure on their property. It's about the zoning district regulations and the fact that they would like the cultural center use to be considered similar to a church use to be an allowable use. In terms of where it's placed and all that kind of things, they would have to follow the same zoning rules as any other property in the conservation zone in terms of setbacks and those kind of provisions.
Okay. So there's no real set site where they're gonna put it?
My understanding, they have a site that's closer to the main road there, is where that they are proposing to where they stated they're gonna place it, but they have not submitted any kind of zoning compliance permits or anything like that yet.
I guess one final thing, I guess I would just like to say that I think that there should be a little bit more public comment on this, because there's a lot of stuff that we don't know exactly what's happening. I understand they're wanting it to get stamped today, but I think there's plenty of people that don't know anything about this, so that would be my recommendation. Thank you. I never turned it off, so I think it's on there.
Is it working?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Marilyn Gilmat. I have Faith Farms in Middle Bay. As what Todd said there at the end was very meaningful to me because, thank you. I feel like a lot of us progressively have been eliminated from our governmental process. I was told tonight that they didn't have to notify me. There was just a courteous thing to do. You know, there's one farm that truly farms left in this community, and that is Faith Farms. We made it illegal to farm anywhere else. There are ranches that have cattle, but not farms. The mountains are too high, the winds are too stiff on the other side. Besides that, it's illegal to do it. Have you ever been in the store in the last couple of years and seen blank shelves? I've held on to that farm for 32 years. My husband and I ate together, me, over 22 years by myself, because I feel this community needs a farm. We used to have farm stands. I raise sheep now predominantly, but there's a lot of people who don't even know this is going on. I didn't even get the mail in time to respond because the mail has become so slow and ineffective in the post office. I have no control over that. And when the only reason I knew that it was even going on is somebody called me and asked me my opinion. And a lot of people have not been notified. I don't know how many you've notified, but a lot of people haven't been notified. That is a major subsistence area. for the people of this community. Every person should know about this. It's going to change the dynamics of the valley and all of the land mass. Those deer don't know boundaries. They go from Lesnoy land to public land. But one
30,
thing
30 seconds left.
anybody who knows about the area and how it's used, it should be preserved for everyone, not a really big group and not a really small group, everyone. So I would suggest and ask you pleadingly, do not vote on this tonight. Include the community. It belongs to everyone, not just one group.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to come up and speak? Thank you to those who did.
Hi, I am Cecile Heiner, Todd Heiner's wife, and I just want to add a little bit to what he said. I would like to see them, if they want to do something like this, and I'm just going to say right now, I am a Lesnoy shareholder, and I knew nothing about this. So, and my land is encompassed. So I would like to see them, the borough, if they want to do something like this, I'd like to see them zone it something else. Go in and ask if they can rezone it, not change what we have as sea conservation and say it's a same as a church. That's what I would like to see. So, thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to provide public testimony this evening on this case?
Hi, I'm Celeste Dormant, and we do have a place over there right on Black Canyon, right on top of Calson Hill. And I think that we need to be more clear what they want to do. I think the whole thing here, we kind of heard a little bit about it, but we're not really clear what they want to do. The whole thing about the church and the center, is it going to be, I'm kind of nervous. So I would just like to see more information on this. And it's true, not a lot of people know about it. There's a lot of people that come and go there and they have no idea what's going on. So I think more letting people know more what's going on and what their plans are should be more of a, you can read it on Facebook sometimes. A lot of people don't read Facebook. They need to let the community know what's going on. So hopefully you guys get more people here and see what their comments are, and you don't have to vote on that tonight. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. I get nervous at that podium too.
Can I add one thing to what I said? I want to clarify. I don't mean rezone the whole thing. I mean just what they want to do. That's
Thanks. Okay, last call. Nobody on the phone, Haley? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting. Commission discussion, please. Go ahead.
I'd like to just say, I know most of the people that live in that area, and I can only think of 2 people that aren't here. So, given that, I think that we should really take the people that did choose to come and speak against this really to heart.
The work session is a great place to kind of test some of these concepts out and kind of work through the process. we did not have that opportunity, and so I'm of a mind that we delay any decision you're making on this. And so if it's a motion, then I will certainly put it forward, but we need more diligence and due time on this particular hot topic, community problem, issue, solution. It has all of the makings of a great Kodiak story, but we want to do it the right way, and we want to do it the best way. And so I'm, again, of a mind that we need to delay till next year this process. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Dagan. To echo what Craig said, I feel like the work session is a really good opportunity to educate, to get input, to ask some of the, deeper dive sort of questions. So I'm not going to make a motion because I'm the chair, but certainly in support of a motion that would postpone this and allow us to.
And just from a procedural standpoint, since there's a motion on the floor to approve the resolution, you would just have to amend that motion first to I would say, and this is a question for the commission, if you are going to, I wouldn't say postpone, if you're going to continue or defer, if you continue the case to the January meeting, then that opens up additional public testimony at the public hearing. If you defer action, that means you're just taking action on it in the January meeting. So
Yeah.
I don't know where you
Continue
all
it.
feel on that, but if you want to continue it, then your motion your amendment, to amend the motion, it would be amend to continue this case to the January regular meeting. So
I
just
would like to see
clarify.
it continued so that the other commissioners too also have an opportunity to provide some meaningful input. You would move to amend the motion on the floor.
You
to continue.
don't have to mention the resolution. You can just say, I move to amend the motion to continue this case to the next regular meeting.
Go for it.
I move to amend the motion to continue in our next regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the amended motion before we vote on the amendment? Nope. Okay. Roll call vote on the amendment, Haley?
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Dagan,
Yes.
Ms. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Cleary,
Yes.
Mr. Mangini.
Yes.
Amendment passes 5-0.
Okay.
And we also still have to vote on the regular.
On the main motion as amended. Okay. Any discussion on that before we vote? Nope. Okay. Can we get a roll call again, Haley, please?
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Dagan,
Yes.
Ms. Craig,
Yes.
Mr. Cleary,
Yes.
Mr. Mangini.
Yes.
Does anyone wish to change their vote? Motion passes 5-0.
Okay.
And I would just point out to the audience, since we had people here today, the motion that was passed would move the case to the January meeting, and the commission has a work session on January 7th and the regular meeting on January 14th. Both are at 6:30 p.m. in this room. Thank you.
Okay. That closes out our public hearings for the evening. We do not have any old business, so we will move to new business. New business item A, recommending 2 commissioners for the Lands Committee. Staff report, Chris, sorry.
So not really a staff
Not-
report
yeah.
for you, but per the Borough Code, for the Borough Lands Committee, they do, with beginning of the year, starting here in January, they do ask that the commission provide a recommendation of 2 members to the mayor for the Lands Committee. And again, there's 2 commissioners that are appointed to the Lands Committee.
Okay, thanks. Currently, it is me and Tracy. I'm the borough representative. Tracy's the city representative. I'm happy to maintain my role as the borough representative. Also happy to concede to anybody that would really enjoy it. I don't want to speak for Tracy, so.
I feel the same. I can continue for the city unless somebody has a burning desire. I can do it.
You're not busy.
No.
Do you need, just kidding. Just kidding. I know, it's your last meeting. Okay, well, for the sake of ease, I guess, if there's no issue with it, I guess Tracy and I can just maintain our seats on that committee, if that's all right.
Chairwoman Sarah, I certainly agree with that. I'd love to see you can both continue in your positions. That provides the knowledge base for our decisions and informed decisions moving forward.
Okay, thanks. Chris, I don't remember if we formally voted on that last year, if we just decided.
You voted on it, yes.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Entertain a motion then.
I make a motion to keep our existing commissioners in the roles for the Land Commission as they have been in the past year.
I'll second.
Was that a second, Sean? Okay.
Correct.
All right, thanks. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Did we do a voice vote last year or a roll call vote?
I think you did a voice vote last year.
Okay. All right, all in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have ourselves some Borough Lands Committee representatives.
Okay.
All right, so that brings us to new business item B, parking requirement for assembly type uses without fixed seating.
So this is interesting. This is kind of something we found out as we were going through looking at other types of assembly uses. You know, churches are one of them, but there are certainly others. Our requirement currently is based on one space per 4 seats based on the maximum capacity. One thing we learned talking to the building official was that when they talk about maximum capacity, it's maximum seating capacity, but that can only be calculated when there's fixed seats. So when there's not fixed seats, they can only calculate standing room only capacity, which is not what our parking requirement is looking for. So what we are asking the commission to consider is, where we don't really have a use listed, in the code, we have that provision. We would like to have the input of the commission here on whether for these situations where we don't have fixed seating, to determine what the parking requirement is. We looked at a couple things. We looked at other cities and boroughs within the state, and then we generally looked at the code to see what else could fit as a number, basically one space per so many square feet, basically. And we came across using the 1 to 200 requirement, which is kind of the base in office until you get over a certain square footage. And it also corresponded to, I think, the majority of the municipalities that we found, where they either they had a seating capacity and then they had where you don't have fixed seats and they went to a number, or some places where it was just a square footage number. The majority of them that we found kind of in the middle was that 1 to 200. Some are 1 to 400, one was like 1 to 100, but the majority were around that 1 to 200, 1 to 250 kind of range. And so staff was recommending that in these cases where we don't have fixed seating, where we can calculate the 1 to 4, that we use a 1 space per 200 square feet of gross floor area for the structure. And just wanted to get the commission's input on that.
I think it makes a lot of sense to have that clarification. Prevents the continual feedback loop with the building department.
They don't like to try to give us seating capacity numbers that don't fit what the building code would state, which is it's only based on when there's fixed seats.
I also feel like 200 is probably a fair place to start if it's somewhere in
And
the
the way our
middle.
code is worded on that provision, it says you look at other provisions in your code, you know, office, and there's a couple other uses that are at that 1 to 200. So we felt that seemed to make some sense for right now. It doesn't mean we may not look at that in the future when we do a wholesale review of parking standards, but in this particular case, we thought the 1 to 200 was a good ratio at the current time.
The only, thank you, Chairwoman. The only concerns I would have is when it comes to snow removal, the impacts of snow, as we have all experienced, can really impact how a space may have a need or greater need for parking. So I'd want to make sure that we put that into the calculation. There's also, of course, the fire safety and access as well would be one of my primary concerns about that. So I look forward to the discussion and the exploration of this new aspect of our code development. Thank you.
So procedurally, are you guys looking for a consensus from the commission that we should move forward with a formal code amendment?
No, I mean, I think based on the provision that we have in the code where, you know, we don't have a provision listed, and we don't for these assembly uses where they don't have fixed seating. We don't have a listed requirement in those situations. So I think it does fall under the aspect where we don't have a requirement for a use, and so we can use the provision as in the code. But in terms of wanting to be transparent and also to allow input from the commission, that's why we brought it forward, to get the commission's input. Do we need to? I don't think the code would potentially allow us to do it on our own, but we brought it to the commission to get your all's feedback and see, kind of explain to you why we're recommending this, and then also get your feedback on kind of what we should do.
Okay, thanks. Nick?
I'm just wondering, have you looked at the assembly areas that are currently in use in Kodiak, and does this exclude any of them?
I don't think it excludes any of them. I mean, we've had some in the past where we had this issue where we didn't have fixed seating, and it was very difficult to get the building official to give us a seating capacity. Some of the more recent ones we had, he was unable to do so. So, you know, we don't want to hold up anybody's zoning compliance permits and stuff while we wait on an amendment. We really need to come up with an alternative requirement when they don't have fixed seating, and it seems more and more of our assembly uses don't have fixed seating anymore.
I see, thank you.
Any additional comment? No. Okay. So no formal action on this one then, Chris? Just
I don't think you do.
consensus?
If there was any kind of
Okay.
opposition to that, then we could rethink it and come back to you. But if you think that's good, then we'll go through, use the code provision for interpretation of that. Thank you.
I think that works. Okay. Let's move on to planning and zoning case result letters then. We have 2 in our packet, 26-005, the street name change approval letter from last month's regular meeting, and then 26-006 is a variance approval letter. No abbreviated and final plat approvals for this month. So let's go ahead to director's comments.
Okay, thank you. As you know, on December 9th and December 11th, we held 2 workshops related to the economic development element of the comprehensive plan. It was minimally attended. However, we do have business and resident surveys that are online currently. Those will be online through December 31st. They can be accessed from the Plan 2045 website listed in the director's report. If there are any businesses who have not or did not get our email link out that we sent out to them to the business survey, they certainly can reach out to our office. They can also go through the Plan 2045 email, which is plan2045@kodiak.ak.us, and send us a request, and we'll be happy to send that link to them. They can also call our office as well. The next elements for public input are going to be related to arts, culture, history, and the environment. We have an open house scheduled for January 22nd from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the assembly chambers here. Staff is currently working on surveys for these items as well, and those will be posted in January. As I mentioned, the Economic Development Survey runs through the end of December. We currently still have the Code Enforcement Officer position open, and we're still looking for candidates there. If anybody who's listening to this wants to apply, I have that listed in the director's report, but it's www.kodiak.us/jobs/ASPX. And then for short-term rental ordinance, that was approved by or recommended for approval by the commission at the last month. That will go to the assembly for first reading in January 15th. And just wanted to let you know where we are with those. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chris. That brings us back to citizens' comments. Citizens' comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. To make comments over the phone, you can call our local number at 907-486-3231 or our toll-free number at 855-492-9202. Comments are for general topics only, and we ask that if you are in the room here that you write your name down and turn on your mic before you start to speak. Clearly state your name for the record, please.
Hello, I'm Sandra West. All day long. Yeah, I just heard about the parking thing, and I saw the different towns that allowed one parking space for 400 square feet of assembly. I'm not sure that I have a great vision for that, but it sounds to me like fewer parking spaces, which also relates to carpooling. So I'm going to encourage more square footage per parking spot. But also I appreciate Mr. Dagan's views on snow removal, which is occasional, true. Fire safety, which is always important. So I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any callers, Haley? Nobody else from the audience? No? Okay. All right. We'll move on from citizens' comments then to commissioners' comments. Sean, how about you go first because you're our online participant?
Oh, thank you. Thanks for allowing me to join you guys remotely. Definitely a lot of great things going over and new stuff that we're seeing. And it's great to see all the citizens' comments come up and be concerned for the areas where they live and where they love to live and be, which is our awesome community. So definitely appreciate everyone coming forward and taking the time and effort to voice their opinions and let us know how important this awesome island we live on is to all of us.
Thanks, Sean. Mr. Dagan.
Thank you. I'd like to echo Sean's wonderful commentary on our citizenry here in Kodiak. I did happen a chance to see the perspective of where this structure would live if it was created, and it would be a wonderful addition in the sense that it would give us that pristine view that is Kodiak. Now, it has a long ways to go to get to where it might truly be its manifest self, but that's why it's here. That's why we're working on it. I look forward to the journey ahead. And so with that being said, I'd like to make sure everybody has a happy holiday season as we close out the year, and I will see you in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy?
I would like to thank staff for all of your work, and I'm glad that we postponed this because I think it's really big, and I have a lot of questions for sure. And it's great seeing everybody. Nick, we're going to miss you. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.
Thanks. Nick?
Thank you guys for letting me be a part of this commission and for the education that you've given me. Thank you, former Mayor Arndt, for encouraging me to be here because I learned a lot just about the process. Thank you very much for all of your hard work on this, and you as well, Haley. So. thank you, guys.
And Sarah, before you talk, I just want to say I got some emails from folks with Lesnoy saying they could not call in. So I'm not sure what was happening with the phones, but they said they tried
Interesting.
multiple times and couldn't get in to call. So we'll look into that and try to figure out what happened.
Okay, I appreciate you putting that on record, Chris. Thank you. Okay, so that leaves me. I appreciate the public comments too. Any side, right? Whether it's somebody that agrees with my position or not, I think it's important that everybody be given that opportunity to share and also that opportunity to educate others and perhaps change minds when needed, right? So thank you, everybody that participated. Make sure, Chris already mentioned them, but make sure you're doing the surveys for the comprehensive plan. Every land use decision that we're making for the next 20 years is going to be based on what that comprehensive plan says. And if it says the wrong thing, we're going to have to live with that as a community. So, like, now's your time. People have been complaining that this plan was old for years. The one we have now, it's a 2008 plan. So even if this plan is supposed to be a 20-year plan, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get updated in 20 years. So we might even live with it longer than we intend to. So please take 10 or 15 minutes per section and provide meaningful input. It really does mean a lot. There are a lot of ramifications, even when funding is available at the state level or the federal level. They're going to want to know that projects matter to a community, that they've been vetted, and that people have really thought about what's going to matter most to their community. So, there's a lot at stake here. So, please comment and participate. And then, Nick, I'll see you at Port and Harbor Advisory Board meetings. So, can't get too far away. That's really all I've got. So let's move on to our announcements. Next work session, as Chris mentioned earlier, is January 7th. It is at 6:30 p.m. here in Assembly Chambers. And our next regular meeting is January 14th, also at 6:30 p.m. here in Assembly Chambers. So we hope to see everybody there. With that, I would love to accept a motion to adjourn.
I will second your motion, since this is your last official act on this committee or commission.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:24. Thanks, everybody.